The first thing she said when she sat across from me was, "My husband thinks the grass is greener on the other side." She said it calmly, almost too calmly. Then she crossed her legs, looked directly into my eyes, and added, "I want him to discover that it isn't." That was the moment I realized this wasn't going to be an ordinary therapy session. My name is Jay. I'm a therapist who has been practicing for a little over 4 years. And over the years, I've learned that people rarely walk into my office carrying only the problem they tell you about. There's usually something underneath it, something they're ashamed to say, something they're afraid you'll judge them for, and sometimes something they haven't even admitted to themselves. Her name was Claire. She was in her early 40s, married for almost 15 years, and according to the intake form, she had come to see me because her marriage was quote unquote falling apart. Her husband, Daniel, had apparently been seeing another woman. Claire didn't know how long it had been happening. She only knew that he'd become distant. His phone was suddenly more important than their conversations. His work trips had become more frequent, and the man who once couldn't wait to come home now seemed to find every excuse to stay away. But Claire wasn't crying. That surprised me. Most people sitting in their chair would have been devastated. Claire looked composed, controlled, almost curious. "What do you want from therapy?" I asked. She smiled faintly. "I want to know whether I'm still desirable." I paused. "That sounds like something you should explore." She leaned forward slightly. "No," she said. "It sounds like something I should prove." That was the first warning sign. During our first few sessions, Claire talked almost exclusively about Daniel, how he'd changed, how he'd criticized her appearance, how he'd compare her to other women. And eventually, she told me something that explained her bitterness. Daniel had once said, "Sometimes you don't realize how much better life could be until you meet someone else." Claire remembered those words perfectly. "They think the grass is greener on the other side," she whispered. Then she looked at me. "But what happens when you finally get there?" I didn't answer. She continued, "What if it's just painted green?" That became the theme of our sessions. Claire wanted to understand why her husband had cheated, but slowly I began to suspect she was trying to understand something else.